Hi, in this exercise I am talking you through hip lift. We are going to come to the floor in a hook climb position. So you have your knees bent, feet hip width distance apart, slightly pigeon-toed, nice line running all the way from your ankles, knees, hips and shoulders, arms out to the side, palms up, nice and relaxed. If you feel you've got any tension in your head or neck or chest, you need to prop your neck up. Yoga block, cushion, squishy toilet roll, anything that's going to take that tension away. And we are going to raise any of our feet, but I always start with my right so then I know where I've started and where I've got to go when I finish. So pick your right foot up and we're placing our ankle over our knee like that, bringing our whole foot, not just the toes, back towards our shin and our knee, and we are actively pushing our knee away from us. We're really opening up that hip, and that's the femur bone. We are pushing our femur bone and rotating our hip. So we're opening our hip out. So two things to remember. Pull your whole foot from the ankle, not the toes. Pull that towards your shin at the same time, opening out your hip using your knee. So you're really actively pushing your knee away from you. Now you might find that you try and tense up here in your back when you're actively tensing that. Really try and relax and not tense your back. And what I'm feeling in this stretch is I'm feeling obviously a nice opening stretch in my hip, but also my other leg that's not actively pushing up, I'm getting a really nice stretch on my hip flexor here. So even though you think that this isn't active, it is. Nothing's actually not active when you're doing any kind of body movement. Even sitting, you're active. So you might think that this leg's not doing anything, but it is. Okay, so you hold that. I suggest for 1 minute. I like holding it for 2 because of the nice stretch that I get. But we're going to do the other side now. So exactly the same, making sure that you're nice and set up correctly, nice and relaxed. Bring the other leg over on, you see your foot, my left foot is on my right knee. I'm getting my lefts and rights mixed up now. I'm actively pulling back my foot and now I'm pushing my knee away from me. Okay, so I'm getting more of a stretch on my left hip flexor here than I was. My left needs some work. Okay, so all the time concentrating on pulling that whole foot towards your shin and pushing out your hip away from you. All the time remembering to breathe. And with this one, I'm finding I'm trying to use my whole body to move the knee away from me. So I'm just going to reset myself. Okay, that's better. Because I don't want to be going over like that. That's my pelvis trying to compensate for my lack of movement in my left side, my left hip. Okay. There, feeling it differently now. Or I'm feeling a nice burn in my hip, in my left hip, because my body's not compensating now, and now my right hip flexor has kicked in now. So I'm feeling it in my hip flexor, all down here, and in my left hip joint, the ball and socket. So that was hip lift.